Good morning, everybody. This is Mike Uzina here in a cool nation's oldest city this morning. And anyway, I want to get back into these videos. Got away for a while, but I want to get back. But anyway, what I want to show you today is the anatomy of a Spanish net. Now we know that there's basically two types of nets that are used. I know some people down in Southwest Florida that make three different types of nets. I won't go into that. But anyway, what this is history, and what I'm going to talk to you about today. Understand that it's Menorcan stuff. It's history of the Menorcan cast net makers. Got nothing to do with the stuff, modern stuff. They do these things different around the world. They make nets different material. But this is an old net. It's a 7-foot Spanish net, and it's made of cotton. They quit making cotton nets I know of. I quit making cotton in probably the early 1950s. And I used to see a few fishermen on the beach with cotton nets. They were a little reluctant to move over to nylon, so they kept making cotton nets for a while. But by the early 1960s, they pretty much disappeared. Anyway, let's get on with this. This is a Menorcan-made Spanish net. Now, the Spanish net originated from Spain. It's a Spanish net. The Spanish made this particular style of net. This net, Spanish net's probably 1,000 years. They've been around, I would say. Good enough guess. Because you can't find out a lot of information on this stuff. But I go back to the Polynesian folks who started putting the Braille lines and stuff in nets. And anyway, so what I'm going to show you is cotton, and the hand line's cotton. And on the Spanish net, you can see what they did. It doesn't have a horn in the top. What they do is they just run the hand line, the rope. The hand line goes through the meshes, comes back through, and they braid it. And this guy wrapped it, and this morning was the first time I got a chance to really look at this. This net was donated. It's going to be redonated to the St. Augustine oldest wooden schoolhouse, which is down on St. George Street. They have a nice big showcase that they're going to put this thing outside and display it as part of our Menorcan heritage. So we're excited about that. But anyway, now, Menorcan net makers basically made three different types of nets. Three different widening combinations. They made a 14 widening, a 16, and a 21. A lot of the real early Menorcans back in my early days, I can remember, made 21 widening nets. They were extremely heavy, an awful lot of webbing, and took an awful lot of sinkers, which made it extremely heavy. But this net, I just got looking it over this morning. This net here is a 16 widening net. The way I can tell, I don't have to count anything. I don't have to count the meshes because I can just look at it and come down and see how far he started his widenings. He came down 12 rows, and then when I look and see how far apart he started them, they're 4 meshes apart when he started. So 4 times 16 is 64. So you have 64 meshes around the top, and this is a 16 widening net. All right, made of cotton. This is the top of it. This net's made out of a 920. The early cotton material, you had a 620, 920, and a 1220. That's basically the sizes they used. 620 was extremely weak. It would break trying to knit it. I never fooled with that. I did make a net or two out of. I didn't fool with cotton very long because nylon came into play when I really got going strong in making nets. You know, and I don't know, 53 on, I guess. About 55, nylon was easy to get. It was good, and so most of us early net makers, Menorcan net makers for the time, moved on to nylon. So I'm going to come down. This is a 7-foot net, and it's extremely heavy. It is what we Menorcan. I'm talking about Menorcan language. This is called a Spanish net. Now, we're gonna come down, and when you get down, he's got a short bag on this net. I can remember some of the early net makers, that were making nets. Stuart Passetti comes to mind. And Stuart made Spanish nets, and he put a 2 foot bag on it. So you had to knit 4 feet after you stop. As long as you wanted that net, if you're going to make it 7 foot, then you had to knit an additional 4 feet onto it, because half of it comes up underneath to form the bag, and that's what we've got here. But this is not a 2 foot. It's not a 1 foot. Barely a one. I don't know if it's even a 1 foot bag. But you come down, and I don't know, can you get a good look at this thing, Phil?
I'm gonna zoom in,
I
so hold
don't know
on.
if you're gonna be able to pick it up like I'd like to see it. If you notice, when you get down near the bottom, I go 7 inches up from the bottom where my line is gonna tuck. You can see it. This is 7 inches from here up to here. You put a double row. Well, this net maker here, he just used a heavier diameter material, which is fine. Instead of a double row, you put because that's where the braille lines are going to attach. There's a lot of pull on it, so you want something heavier, and that's what he did. Your braille lines are 7 inches. Now I'm going to show you how these things are attached to wrap this thing up. And I'm going to put this down in. I'm going to turn it inside out where you can see. Hopefully you can see. I don't know. This is a different type of material than Phil and I work with. That's for sure. But you can. I'm fumbling here, guys. Okay, Phil, can you see that?
I'm gonna zoom in.
Let you zoom in. Let me try to get my hands out of the way. You see these braille lines? We call them tucks. They call them braille lines today. I never heard that word until not awful long time ago. But what they do is they go in a zigzag like this all the way around that net. He tied in down here, 3 sinkers apart. He come down from his double row. And as you can see what he did, see what I'm showing you, comes down, up, down, up, down, up. These tucks are 7 inches. That's what you should do. And you go all the way around the net. Now up top here, best I can tell, I think he's got these 7 mashes, I think, which is right. I think that's what I do, either 6 or 7, depending on what size mesh you use in the net. This is a 1 inch. I can see that's a 1 inch mesh. So what I'm saying that what it looks like what he did anyway, would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6, 7. Every 7 meshes you tie in, and you come down to 3 sinkers at the bottom. That gives you that zigzag. Can you see that good? Is that showing up good for you?
Let me sweep it.
Yes, where they can see what that does.
Okay, hold it steady. Okay.
Got it? Okay. Now I'm going to let that go where you can see the bag. Now this is a small bag. This is a used net, by the way. The lady thought it was new, but it's not. This net's been used. Doesn't matter whoever he took good care of it, I can tell you that, because cotton nets didn't have a very long life if you didn't take care of it. But anyway, you can see that's probably about a foot bag, and that's enough. Now, I know that you guys out there, you fishermen out there, you know what a Spanish net's used for. Used for shallow water. I don't care for them. I don't make them. I will not make one. I have turned down several orders for Spanish nets here in the last few years. I just don't care to make them. There's so much extra work to it, and I stay too busy with these things here. So I don't. I've turned down. I heard it broke a guy's heart. He called me from over Apalachicola Bay, And he said, I don't care how much you charge. I want a 12-foot bag net. I had to tell him no. Anyway, I think we've pretty well covered this. I don't know of anything else to say about it. Did I miss anything, Phil?
I don't think so.
I think I pretty well covered, you know, went over, you know, the anatomy of it pretty much. I think they basically done the same, made the same way. Monofilament, of course, the monofilament has their panels sewn together. But basically you're going to have the same thing when you finish with it. You're going to have whatever length net you want to make it, and you're going to tuck it under and rig it as this one is done. And so with that, if you have any questions, I appreciate hearing from you. I have a phone number now that's 217, let's see, 217 297 294. What is it? Yeah. No, 797. Oh, I'm sorry. 217-7974. I ate too much Thanksgiving dinner. And by the way, I hope everybody had a marvelous Thanksgiving and you're taking care of yourself. And like I say, we do have a website. It's called Menorcan Magic, one word, MENORCANMAGIC.com. And with that said, you know, we'd like to hear from you if you want to give me a shout, say, hey, you're full of bull or whatever. But understand, this is Menorcan. This is the way. I verify that this is the way Menorcans made a Spanish net. No other way. Well, that said, you guys take care of yourself. Until the next time, goodbye.